Welcome to Parabolas video number 2. By this point, you should have watched the Edpuzzle videos that demonstrate the very powerful focus point and its ability to harness the sun's rays to cook things. I hope you found those very interesting. I certainly did. And so in this video, we're going to just talk generally about the attributes of parabolas. And some of these things are going to be old news and some of these things are going to be new. So as we said, a parabola is a U-shaped quadratic function. It contains an axis of symmetry, and the focus point for each parabola sits on the axis of symmetry. Additionally, every parabola has this directrix, which is essentially an imaginary line that is equidistant between the parabola and the focus point. So the distance between the focus point and the parabola to the directrix is the same distance. So there are 4 types of parabolas that we're going to be working with. The first kind is, I like to call upward facing. Okay. And if a parabola is upward facing, the directrix is below the parabola and the focus point is inside the parabola. We also have what is called a downward facing parabola. In this case, the directrix is above the parabola. Okay, and the focus point will be here. Now, something that we have not learned about yet, and something that you did not learn about in Algebra 2, were sideways facing parabolas. Okay, so we also are going to see parabolas that actually open rightward. Okay, now these are not functions, right? These are relations. They do not pass the vertical line test. But in these cases, the focus point would be here on the right. The directrix would be here on the left. Okay, and the axis of symmetry would just go right through. And then finally, we could have a leftward opening parabola, okay, where the parabola opens up to the left. And the focus point is here and the directrix is here. So upward facing, downward facing, opens rightward, opens leftward. Now, before we go to the next video, we're going to talk about 4 characteristics. All parabolas have the following. The first thing they have is a vertex, and you know about that from Algebra 2. The vertex is really like a max or a min point. And if you're going sideways, right, your vertex would be here. And if you're going this way, your vertex would be here. Upward facing, here's my vertex. Downward facing, here's my vertex. All parabolas also have a focus point, and the focus point is always going to be inside the parabola. So focus point, focus point, focus point, focus point. All parabolas have a directrix, and this is a fancy word for just a line that is on the other side of the parabola. So the directrix is always on the other side. So directrix, 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 directrix. And finally, all parabolas, as you know, have an axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry is always going to go through the focal point. I will see you in the next video where we'll actually do some algebra.